If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Kendrick news, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers news on this new album that's coming out next Friday on May 13th. I think we're going to get a lot of these news over the next, week or, the next couple of days, so I'm always here to keep y'all updated, so make sure you're subscribed. But today, we got a new folder on the Oklahoma site, so that is a very big thing, and the thing we got does kind of suggest a certain direction the album will go in, but we'll talk about all of this in detail now, so let's jump straight into this. So let's start with the basics. If you head over to oklahoma.com right now, you will not only find the two folders we had there before, namely the one, the New Thoughts folder, where he expressed what he was going through, how he's recording this new album, how it will be his last on TDE. That was likely the most important info on there. And then we also have the step folder, or the master folder, I think it's a step folder, with the announcement for Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, obviously, because that was the big one we were talking about. That is now gray. That is not the black folder in the middle anymore because it got replaced. So we have this gray folder now. To the left of it, the New Thoughts, to the right bottom of it, and in the middle there is a new black folder that used to be the announcement. And when you click on this new black folder, an image pops up, and an image is always very interesting. Now in this case, let's actually look at this in more detail because this is very important. So this image is a picture of Kendrick sitting somewhere. It does look like his outfit for the Super Bowl halftime performance, but I'm not quite positive on that one. If you have any more info on this, please do let me know. But in his hands, he is holding a book. It looks like a Bible, but it says Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Kendrick Lamar. So that is the album title. It looks very much like a Bible. Y'all can't tell me that is not a Bible. And then also we have two discs he's holding on top of it. The disc that is covered by the upper one is called Morale, and the upper one is called Steppers, and on the bottom it says Master Copy. So this basically means, in a very literal way, that the album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is gonna be a double album, a so-called double disc, and he is insisting this in like a very literal way by holding up two discs, one of them saying Morale, the other one saying Steppers. So all the theories about this thing being a double record seem to be true. I thought that they were just, they were BS, and this was all just a very part of a very big not conspiracy, but people just making up stuff and coming up with theories to make it more interesting. But it actually does seem to be true. So Kendrick is giving us subtle hints like this, and I love it. This is a perfect rollout. Like, the fans are step by step discovering all the things, putting together the piece of this puzzle. So for fans, this is really entertaining and really interesting. But let's also talk about what this kind of suggests the album will be like. So the album now being a double disc, of course, brings up the idea that one disc will be different from the other. We've talked about the idea of one being the last TDE album and the other disc being the new PG Lang album, because he did announce this through PG Lang. I'm going to make a very interesting video about PG Lang in the next 1 to 2 days, talking about what it actually is, what it does. So be on the lookout for that and stay subscribed. But I think that theory doesn't quite hold up. I don't think that TDE or PG Lang would drop an album together with another record label and kind of split it. That is not really how the music distribution in the industry works. But it could be. It's a possibility. I want to throw it out there just so I said it, but it's just a possibility. The more feasible answer is actually that is going to be two albums. So one of them, Mr. Morale, being a certain type of music, a certain type of sound, and then the Big Steppers being another one. There are certain speculations about Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers that does sound a lot like a 1960s 70s funk band. That the first half will be more of that rock sound that he also teased at. Kendrick did say he was making a rock album, and the second part, the Steppers, will be the modern like hip hop sound that everybody's waiting for. So that is another theory of what the split between the two discs could be, because when someone like Kendrick Lamar is doing a split between two discs, I think that it does have some meaning to it. Now, also one interesting thing I want to point out, which is very important, is that of course whenever there's a double disc record, there's going to be a lot of songs. It's not like it's just an album split in two, it's more like two albums. So there's likely going to be a couple more tracks on here than we initially expected. Now, I want to point towards the fact that Kendrick did register in total, I think it was 32 new songs with BMI, or ASCAP, basically the same thing, just the rights to the titles and to the music, in 2021 on September 4th. So he did register a lot of titles, for example, Before the Hangman's News, or Comfortable, Believe, Director, Driving Down the Darkness, End of the Line, and Feel for You. Those were registered, and I think it was a total of 32. So that is also just a theory. It could be 32 tracks on this record, 16 on the first disc, 16 on the second disc. That would also, go hand in hand with the fact that he's been off for 5 years now, and in 5 years you can make a lot of music. So that is another theory that I want to throw out there, just so I said it, even though it's not confirmed. None of this. We only have this picture and the fact he's registered those songs back in 2021. Now, out of that, make what you want. I'm just giving you all ideas for it. But it's going to be a very interesting, 1.5 weeks, 9 days, 10 days until we get the final album. I'll drop a lot more videos on this. Y'all can bet on that, so make sure you're subscribed. This is the biggest release we've had in hip-hop for many years now. A lot of people excited for this, and Kendrick knows this. Kendrick knows how to play with the minds of his fans by teasing us little stuff like this, but I love it. This is the rollout of an album that I want to listen to and that I want to hear, with these little hints, being a little mysterious, but giving it to us like piece by piece, and I think that's incredible. So I'm really happy we got this news. I don't know what to make of the fact that it's a double disc. I think Kendrick is going to use it very wisely. I think 32 songs would be too much for a Kendrick album. That's just my personal interpretation of this. I don't think Kendrick would go overboard like that, but I could see a double disc, somehow working out. Yeah, so that's what we have so far, the double disc from the picture, and also the fact that he registered those songs. Now I want to know what you think about this. Do you think the double disc will be a split between Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, or between PG Lang and TDE? What do you make of the fact that he's registered those 32 songs? Do you think all of them will be on here? All of this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.